This episode is sponsored by Barboss Party Pre-mix. Making cocktails has never been this easy. Hello and welcome to our show Off the Menu. In this show, we are going to talk about some of the offbeat or very authentic dishes of every destination that we travel to, and we're also going to teach you how to actually cook them. The reason we call this show Off the Menu is because the dishes we're going to talk about in this show are not easily available in any restaurant, a commercial restaurant or a hotel or any other menu. So let's have a look at what Nikheel Shirodkar have to actually show us today. Now, Nikheel has been a chef for a really long time, and today he's going to actually cook two very authentic dishes in Goan cuisine. So let's begin with Nikheel. Nikheel, welcome.
Hi Suraj, thank you so much for having me on your show. Okay, so for today, we are going to make something called as Bangdyachi Uddamethi. Bangdyachi is basically mackerels in typical Goan language of us, and Uddamethi is basically a combination of two main ingredients into it. One is the Methi, Fenugreek seeds, and one is the dal, which is the Urad white sweet dal. So this is a unique dish because it comes from the Saraswat region of Goa and very well popular between the Goan Saraswat Brahmins. Yes, I said Brahmins. In Goa, the Brahmins are fish eaters, unlike anywhere else in the Indian region, basically. So let's start with the ingredients for the recipe. For the recipe, of course, has this significance that it is of Bangladesh, so we have the cut mackerel. Get some fresh, nice local mackerels from the market and cut them into small pieces for the curry part, basically. Because this is a sort of a thick gravy which goes with rice or with pori as the Indian Goan bread which we have for ourselves. Then we need the spices for it. I've kept it all over here for you all to have a look at it. The main ingredient, which is the fenugreek seeds, we need the dal, the white split red lentils, we need the peppercorns, we need the coriander seeds, the starch, and some rice just to give it the thickness and the body. We need freshly grated coconut. Half is good enough for what we are going to do as of now. Just to add a little bit of flavor of garlic and ginger into it. And to give the tanginess, it is the tamarind. Of course, it is the local tamarind which you get into the market of Goa, but you can substitute it with any other tamarind which you get. Chopped onions, what we'll need, and we'll need a little of lemon juice to finish it off. The two other important items are here. It's called the Bangdyachi chili. This is a local chili from Bangalore, and this is the typical Goan chilies which are used for the peri-peri sauce or for any other sauce of Goan nature. Okay, so we start with, I've taken out the ingredients for you. For the coconut, we will need 8 to 10 Goan chilies, which are these ones. We will need just 2 Bangdyachi chilies. Now these are really spicy ones and they are hot. So you have to be very careful when you're adding them. Of course, if you are a spice eater, then add 1 or 2 into it. You'll love it even more. Tamarind ball, a small lemon tamarind ball size. Star anise is just half piece of it. A bit of peppercorns, a little bit of turmeric powder, the Urad Dal, the coriander seeds, the rice, and the Methi as we have said. First, we will start roasting of all the ingredients. So let me keep the onions ready for it. I'll just take one medium-sized onion and just slice them roughly. That's it for my roasting purpose. I take the pan, the kadai. Of course, you can substitute the kadai with the earthen pot as well because it gives the natural flavor into that particular aspect. But if you do not have the earthen pot, you can use the easier version of it, the kadai. I put a little bit of oil into it, say about 2 teaspoons of oil, and then I'll be adding the coconut into it. Once the oil is a little bit hot, we'll add the coconut. This grated coconut was half in number, exactly the half self of the coconut is taken and then grated freshly. We just roast the coconut very well till it actually gets a bit of a reddish color. In the same coconut, once it is a bit into brownish or reddish color, we need to add the sliced onions. Now this dish definitely needs a little bit of preparation, but the taste also is accordingly that actually comes up, and it's so interesting when you're eating it with the Goan rice. Some small secrets of mine also will be let out during the video that I'll be going across. I'm just cutting the ginger into thin slices so that I can just pop it in. And just 3 or 4 cloves of garlic. I think 4 away. Just roast this all together. Give a nice golden brown color. Once the coconut is roasted, we take the coconut out along with the onion, ginger and garlic. And then wait, it's not over as yet because we have to roast the other ingredients as well for the Uddamethi. So our coconut, onion, ginger and garlic is done. I pour a little bit more oil into it and then I toss the other ingredients. I put on with the methi first. That's the fenugreek seeds. The real flavor of the Uddamethi and meaning of Uddamethi itself. Then I add the Urad Dal into it. Again, it's a combination of Urad and Methi. I roast this separately. Do not mix the other ingredients into it. Once it is nice and golden brown, I take the Methi and the Uddamethi out into the same mixture which we have roasted of the coconut, onion and the rest of the things. So as much you can take out, and the later stage is for the rice. Rice gives it a nice creamy texture. It gives it a sort of a body. Now you can say that's one of the secrets to add into the Uddamethi. Usually it is not done into the regular household. Then I add the coriander seeds, which should go nice and brown. Coriander seeds are typically used in almost all the curries of Goa. This gives a peculiar mild flavor and goes very well with seafood. That's the reason why the coriander seeds are very important. Little bit of turmeric, peppercorn, and now goes the chilies. Both the chilies, I have not even headed them. I have kept the stems alive. I don't want to waste anything of the chili basically. They have all the flavor. And here goes the sarens and the remaining peppercorns. I have only kept the tamarind balls separate just to put in the grinder. Once this mixture is nice and brown, golden brown, we can just take it out in the same tray where we have taken out the roasted coconut and the roasted methi and Urad Dal. It's crackling nicely, so my mixture is ready now. So basically, just to show you all separately, I have the tray ready. Basically, this is the color after roasting of individual ingredients which you get. Now I put everything together. You can roast it all separately as well. There you can balance the flavors as you want or as you wish. So the coconut should be not brown but just golden color. The onions also in the similar way golden color. The rice is done on the little bit of a browner side with the dal and the methi and the coriander seeds is here. We add all these ingredients now into the mixer. Well, in Goa, for the authenticity, we always use the stone grinder, which actually gives it the flavor As now the quantity is very less for me, I'm going to put it in a mixie. I put the tamarind ball and a bit of a turmeric just to give it a little hint, color, and of course it gives it the sort of the preservative texture which is there. So once it's in the mixie jar, you have to nicely mix it in the mixie to just a fine texture with half bowl of water. It should not be as thin as the curry, neither should it be as thick as the saguti. It should be in the middle range of it. So once it is grinded, you will have a paste something like this. Now this is the color we are looking out for, not exactly red, not exactly yellow. It's in the orange side. Once we cook it, it will go a little bit on the brown side of the coloring part. This is the consistency once we get it grinded. So let's start to make the Bangdyachi Uddamethi now. So once our mixture is ready, now we need to cook it along with the mackerels basically. So I just hit some oil and I need half a slice of onion again. So just roughly slice again. Now that's a big onion, so I'll just take quarter of a slice of it and put it in the oil. When the oil is nice and hot, I just add a little bit of fenugreek seeds again into it to pop up and give that flavor to it. Now the onions are nice and crackling. Once they are translucent, not even color has changed, we have to add our grinded paste into it. So Uddamethi being a very typical Goan dish, it is relished a lot in the Goan Hindu homes more than the southern part of Goa. As there the ambutti is something which is more familiar with and not the Uddamethi. So the Uddamethi travels all the way from the Konkani region of Ratnagiri till the Karwar coastal parts. So the Brahmins of God Saraswat community are spread throughout from Maharashtra till certain parts of the Karnataka. So Mangalore and Udda are well known for the God Saraswat Brahmins as well. In Goa, it has been dominated onto the northern side of Goa more than the southern aspect. Once the curry has just started boiling a bit, we will leave in our mackerels. Now some do marinate the mackerels prior to putting into it. That depends upon the freshness. If my fish is fresh, I do not want any other taste into that. So I can take the assurity of putting it non-marinate basically. So I have around 2 mackerels here, small sized mackerels, which I put into the curry. Now there is a small local touch. It is not something which is the authentic part for the Uddamethi, but people do add some saring agent into it. It can be your dried mangoes, which we have over here, just for display. I'll show it to you. These are the dried mango parts, sun-dried basically. You can use this. You can use kokum. Well, the Goan kokums are well known and gives this sourness enough into the Uddamethi to give it additional part. Well, you have to always remember that tamarind is already been added into the mixture. So what I've done over here is I'm taking some nice fresh seasonal bean leaves. Now these are star fruits which are available seasonally in Goa and my favorite. So I just love the flavor and the taste and the sourness that this natural berry is actually inculcating into the curry. So I just add one of it to give that tangy flavor and the freshness of that fruit which is immersed into this particular dish gives it that kind of a melting, mouth-watering flavor and taste. Now once the consistency goes a little bit thicker, you can add water as you need. Just remember that it should not become exactly like curry. It should be still on the thicker side a bit, so that it remains on top of the rice. So you've seen I have not added any tadka or anything of that particular sort into our gravy. It is just plain paste which we have done. We have added into it. Now once you taste the dish, if you find that the methi or the fenugreek flavor is less or you need more into it, my suggestion would be always to have a little bit of powder ready for that particular purpose. So I have it over here for myself. So what I have done is, this is again one of my secrets. So it is just the Urad Dal and the fenugreek seeds roasted and powdered and kept separate to me. So I add as and when and as much as I need later on to give that punch of fenugreek into it once it is getting cooked. Now our Udda Methi is almost done, as I can see, and it's ready to be served. This is basically going to be the final consistency of the curry, or the Udda Methi as we call it. And the mackerel flavor has been laid out into the curry. The mackerels are cooked and it's getting boiled. We can put the curry off now and it's ready for plating and to be had with the Goan rice. I'll just get that plating done right away. And here we have the Bangdyachi Uddamethi ready for you to be relished, along with the typical Goan brown rice and some moyaji bhaji. Moya is basically the horse radish which you get locally in Goa, and it is used with this leaf. We will show you in one of our next episodes how to actually make this simple vegetable dish. And of course, to give my favorite touch to it, the bimli pickle, homemade, which is a very good combination along with the Udda Methi. So that's it from my side, and thank you for watching how to make Udda Methi.
Welcome to this show of pairing a Barboss cocktail along with a Goan dish, that is Bangdyachi Uddamethi. Now, Barboss is all about a ready drink that is in a bottle which has all the ingredients required for the perfect cocktail. Today we have a dish made by Chef Nikheel, which is called Bangdyachi Uddamethi. It has tanginess, it has the bitterness, and it also has wonderful fresh flavors of mackerel. To pair with this dish, we have the perfect cocktail that will go with this particular dish. And my cocktail today is called Niz Goencar, which means a true Goan. Let's go very quickly get into making this cocktail, which will give you an insight of what it exactly looks like and how we make it with nothing to worry about getting ingredients, but a ready solution for you, which is in this form. We'll start by adding ice to your glass. Any tall glass will be fine. A large measure of any good cashew free, and the most important ingredient, Barboss Cocktail Pre-mix, and this particular cocktail mix is known as Niz Goencar. So give it a mild shake. And you can simply garnish it with a pineapple wedge to give the exact exotic look. You can add a straw if you like, and Niz Goencar is ready. Perfect combination to go along with Chef Nikheel's Bangdyachi Uddamethi.